botched drug raid back in 2020. On Wednesday, the DOJ asked a judge in the case for a one-day sentence, which is the length of time that Hankison spent in jail when he was initially booked on the charges. In the filing, the DOJ argues that Hankison deserves a punishment that is less than what federal sentencing guidelines recommend, adding that he will probably never be able to serve again as a police officer or own a firearm, and that he, quote, did not wound Taylor or anyone else at the scene that day, although he did discharge his duty weapon 10 times blindly into Miss Taylor's home. After the department made its request public, the legal team for Taylor's family issued a statement writing in part this: recommending just one day in prison sends the unmistakable message that white officers can violate the civil rights of black Americans with near total impunity. Let's now bring in the president of the National Action Network and host of MSNBC's Politics Nation, the Reverend Al Sharpton. Reverend, good morning. I know you know the family of Miss Taylor. Give us your reaction to what we've learned from the DOJ.
I think this is like spitting in the face of Lady Justice. They could have done many things. To make the statement that we only want one day is to say we hold your rights in contempt. That is contemptuous. They're not even asking for a low amount of time. One day, which is to send a message. And I think we got it. I mean, Attorney Ben Crump will be on Politics Nation this weekend. Many of us will deal with this. 5 years ago, we had Breonna Taylor happen, Ahmaud Arbery happen, George Floyd happen, and that's when the whole nation said we have to deal with the question of race. Well, let's not forget Donald Trump was president then, did nothing, lectured demonstrators, having them removed from the church in front of the White House, held up the Bible and lectured them. Here we are now 5 years later, and many of the companies that said, oh, we're going to do something about diversity, many of the things that were promised went unfulfilled. And now, to top it all, you have this family given such a painful rebuke by the Department of Justice. So as we're talking about this DOJ running around the question of Epstein and others, they just shot a real hole in the heart of many of us that have fought for civil and human rights.
You know, Reverend Sharpton, Breonna Taylor wasn't just a hashtag. You know, she really was the impetus, as you noted. It was Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, and the George Floyd was like the straw that broke the camel's back for the country, it felt like at that point. And I wonder what this signals for the movement and the police accountability movement. It feels like the George Floyd case, coupled with the Breonna Taylor federal case, was one of the first few times in recent history where it felt like there was some semblance of a win because there would be some type of accountability. True accountability would mean that Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and George Floyd were still alive today. But at least there would be some type of justice served within the system. It feels as though we are right back to where we were before.
Well, I think that if we study movements, and you raised the right word, movement, we always have our ups and downs. Mm-hmm. So movement, the generation ahead of me, Dr. King and to Reverend Jackson, you had your high moments, March on Washington. 2 months later, you had the church bombing in Birmingham. Right. So then you have your high moments, 64 Civil Rights Act. Then you have the riots. So we that have been out here or have studied this don't get disappointed. And that's why we say, using your words, this is more than a hashtag. You need to keep organizations. You need to keep on this so you're not exploiting the families, that you're using this to change laws. And I think that a lot of those that got excited were not determined. Those of us that stayed with these families through it are still there because it's about changing laws. I think this could be the impetus, if Democrats are smart, to raise the difference between what happened under Biden, Harris in terms of police accountability, and what happened under Trump. To those black men, the few that did go up for Trump, explain to us how a man shoots 10 times into the wrong house, violating a woman's civil rights, another bullet kills her, and that's 1 day in jail? How many of our peers, black men, will get 1 day in jail for making that kind of make that kind of mistake, if we want to call it that.
Yeah, a really good point. The work certainly will continue. Former state attorney for Palm Beach County, Florida, Dave Arenberg. Dave, thank you for joining us this morning.